What follows is a post written by Steve Richards on the Young to Live By Discord server on becoming conscious of your own fields. If we take a homeostatic view with your biopsychosocial stack having everything that has recently happened to you lain over it, we can immediately see your meta field as it is presently configured. By field, we mean a heterogeneous pattern of infodynamic association that is self-sustaining. It has its own within-level, internally referent homeostasis. So your meta field is the highest register of distribution that you can personally occupy until the boundaries of your system extend into the most fundamental states. In theoretical terms, this is effectively at a point of infinite extension. In practical terms, it's at the point where our homeostasis, at the level of an individual human organism, cannot be further extended. Everything that you are immediately aware of within this field is your subjective waveform. Everything outside of that, including any non-ego awareness, but is still affecting you, is your objective waveform. This field is infodynamic, so the respective waveforms change over time as an active distribution set against the biopsychosocial stack. This means that your field is not only widely distributed, but your subjective waveform is highly coherent with a representation of that distribution. This will naturally stretch the capacity of anyone's homeostasis. An individual will be stretched physically, intrapsychologically, and psychosocially. The physical is the most important, as this is the chassis to carry everything else. The intrapsychological is where we become reflexively aware of complexes. The psychosocial is where we find ourselves increasing our drive state in order to meet the demands that our physiology and psychology may be withdrawing or shutting down from as a conservation withdrawal. Complexes can perhaps paradoxically be co-opted to act as homeostatic regulators. Their regressive inertia in reference to past states can be utilized by our meta-regulatory function to compel an otherwise overstretched system to refocus and self-correct. How you interpret this will be very important. You've been subject to the effects of extraordinary stress. This has extended your personal field into the collective at the psychosocial level. The homeostatic compensation will likely include reactivating past ego state complexes for the reason outlined above. A problem can be in identifying with these past ego state complexes so that they persist beyond their reactivation's intended purpose. The way to deal with these complexes is firstly to recognize their reconfiguration, then check your meta field against the biopsychosocial stack. This will reveal their activation profile and give away their immediate adaptive purpose, homeostatically. You can then say, I am in that state. This being the presently configured representational field of your subjective and objective waveforms. Secondly, check your physiological homeostasis, and in particular for any downloading from the psychosocial and psychological into it. Be alert to the potential for your psychology to override awareness of exhaustion, so that the overdrive state necessary to meet with extended psychosocial needs is allowed to run unchecked. Thirdly, reconfigure your self-image field, as this is the real-time internal mirror within your self-concept field. Make sure that it is not acting autonomously to identify you, your ego field, with the oxidizing need to meet with others' extended demands, including through social media. Finally, reconfigure your persona field, the two-way membrane of intrapsychic to psychosocial relating, to ensure that its homeostasis and your internal self-regulation are coherent and adaptive. Note, the objective waveform is analogous to the unconscious in psychodynamics, but it goes much further.